I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't want my kids to use it. I don't want to use it. I don't have a TV in my house. I don't. And the neighbor girl comes over and says, why don't you have a TV in your house? What do you guys do? And I said, yeah, we don't need one. My kids do watch tablets, and I'm going to get around to that soon. But I don't like it. And here's why. And I think that more people need to consider what's happening when we are allowing ourselves to numb out at the TV. First of all, we have this false idea that resting means that we are consuming. Like when we're behind the screen, like watching TV, watching, I don't know, the news, something informational, I don't really care what it is. We're not in rest. Real rest is not consuming. It's not behind a screen. And when we do that, we're actually killing our default mode network. These are the connections in our brain that allows creativity to happen, problem solving, and deep thinking. And so none of this is happening when we're watching television. Next, it is a passively consuming, like watching TV and not doing anything with it requires such little effort and stimulation that it actually kills our imagination and our problem solving. I see it immediately after my kids get done watching television. They don't know what to do. They are bored. It creates boredom because they were so high. They're getting this dopamine high of like seeing really cool stuff happen on TV and then coming back to this reality and being like, wow, the real world actually requires effort and energy and patience and time. I'm not interested in that. So watch how you respond when you get done watching TV about like how life actually requires some bit of effort, some bit of energy and time. And that overstimulation and that dopamine high is actually killing your relationship with your own life. And also, it suppresses our chance for us to even have any time of reflection or white space or creative thinking. And when we don't have a screen in front of us, we actually are doing that. When we have quiet time in front of us, when we are just looking about, when we are daydreaming, when we are outside in nature, when we are journaling, we are kind of just in this state where our brain is able just to stop thinking and be. And when we come back into thinking state, the answers arise. We've actually found a way to solve for problems without thinking. So instead of experiencing these different experiences for ourselves, which I constantly remind my family members, like my dad, if you like football so much, why don't you go outside and throw the football around? Why don't you go and make a pass? Try this yourself. Because when we are not actually doing it, we're not learning how to do it. We're not actually stimulating our mind or moving our bodies. We have this false idea of being part of something when we're really not. We're just passively on the outside of it and thinking that we're experiencing it for our own life. And so you're robbing yourself of your own feel good endorphins, your own high that you create when you get to experience these things in your own life. Next, TV is subtly shaping your values, your opinions, your identity, and you start to conform to what everybody else is, like what's normal. Like, for example, what's normal on TV are ladies with a lot of surgeries, like lips, eyes, like you're not seeing people with wrinkles on camera anymore. You think that it's normal for somebody to not have wrinkles. This doesn't even make sense. It's part of the aging process. Like, we think it's normal for women to have implants in their breasts. Like, this is so interesting to put toxic things or put people to sleep to put, implants in their body or inject them or, even like Botox. We start to think this is normal. Like, you look normal by having Botox because you don't have lines. Well, you know what Botox was created was to paralyze the muscle. And that's what it actually does. You inject this in there and it paralyzes the muscle. How is that normal to create this paralyzation? And we're used to seeing people look like that. And now when we look at ourselves, we think we have a problem. It's like it is subtly shaping your views, your opinions, and it is making you conform to what you are being shown. So these are the reasons why I do not like TV and I do not want to use it. I don't want to rely on it. But I also am going to admit to you guys a truth. We use it sometimes. We use it in my family sometimes. And I have fought and been upset and I have argued about the use of screen times with children because I deeply in my being feel that they need zero screen time. I know that when they need rest, and this does not count as rest. Quiet time is rest. Laying and cuddling, daydreaming, sitting on my lap, looking at the birds is rest. And so when I notice that my kids crave TV time is when they need rest. However, I will allow space and time for my children to watch TV, or I should say shows, because it's not TV, but to allow myself space to prioritize my own rest. And so while I do not like it, while I do see that I can stifle your creativity, while I do want to take this really hard approach, I realize as a mother who's taking care of these 3 kids in the household and the business that I also need some moments where I prioritize my own health, where I prioritize getting my own needs met. And so if that means I give them a 15-minute show to allow myself to take a shower and come back, then I will. And so I share this video with you as an opportunity to look at your habits of when we do things. Can we do them with a wider awareness? Can we do them with a way of knowing that there is a world of ideals and then there is a world of just balancing everything that comes to you? And what I found out is sometimes I would get really aggravated and stressed out because I was living in the world of ideals. And I realized I found more happiness, peace, and joy for my own self as I am the woman that sets the vibration and the tone of this household when I have taken the time to get my own needs met. And ultimately, we really cannot fill the buckets, the roles, the cups of other people if our bucket hasn't been filled. And so while I do have this relationship with television, while I know these things are not good, are not helpful, are not moving us forward with problem-solving techniques, I have learned to soften on this topic because in doing that, I have allowed space for them to have their own sense of entertainment for a little while, to take the pressure off of myself, and to allow myself to get my own needs met. And this allows this little cup, this little bubble for me to do so. And then I can return stronger and a better mom, more loving and more patient in this space.